Hi there and welcome to Guitarfingers. It's a composition that I did to help one of my students when we were discussing particular aspects of learning to play at the level she was at. So I decided to use a rhythm called a Milonga from Argentina, and I just developed a song in the key of A major to help us with certain aspects that I'll discuss through the song. So the first thing to look at, as always in a song, is we have the key signature of 2 beats in a bar, so that's 2 crotchet beats, and the key is A major, so we've got 3 sharps, C sharp, F sharp and G sharp. Again, if you're not too familiar with those, my Guitarfingers book 1 of course will go through keys and adding the sharps that we need to learn as we're progressing through the beginning stages of learning to read music and play the guitar. So the first thing we need to do is just check out where the sharp notes are that we're going to play. Always remember to use the natural notes next to them as your guides. So for example, we've got C sharp, fret 2, on string 2, that's next to C natural, fret 1. So the same will be for F sharp, fret 2, on string 1, F natural next to it, back to F sharp. Fret 4 is G sharp, next to fret 3, G natural. And then in the lower notes we've got, in this song we've got a G sharp, fret 1, on string 3. I don't think there's any more, but if we do come across them, I'll bring those out to you as we play. The Milonga rhythm, this is the most important of the song of course, I would suggest you do a little bit of background on listening to Milonga songs. Just Google them, YouTube them, and just have a listen to how those Latin American rhythms sound, but this is what it does sound like, so I'll play it as written. I'm going to use a finger 1 for note E. I often call that middle E because it's the middle of the 3 E's in that area there. I'm using finger 1, there's a good reason, because later on we'll be using a lot of finger 2s up in this higher area, so finger 1 needs to be free down here. So not finger 2 this time, but finger 1. We start off mezzo piano, moderately quiet, just to get a little bit of atmosphere, and andante, walking pace. So I'm going to do this as a Latin American type walking pace in a chilled out hot summer's day, so a little bit slower than perhaps normal. So the rhythm goes, we've got A, E, E. Okay, so I'll play that again now. So the rhythm is ta, 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 ta. And if you were to count that, of course you would get 1 A and A 2 and 1 A and A 2 and. Okay, so that's how you would technically count out. Good to do that, but also good to hear that rhythm. We've got to repeat, so we play those 2 bars twice. Here's my second time. Just using my thumb, little circles. Okay, so that's our first part, the introduction, just sets the scene. The next we've got syncopated semiquavers. Again, these are often falling in the brackets of particular rhythms, and I've seen them described as variations of Milonga rhythms. Again, just that bit of background work will just help you decide if you want to call the first rhythm Milonga or the second one a Milonga variation as well. I kind of call them both really. So I'll differentiate them between the Milonga rhythm, which is the first 2 bars, and the syncopated, that's playing lots of offbeats on the weaker parts of beats, as the second rhythm. So just let's have a listen to that. So it goes, this is bar 3. 1 A and A 2 and 1 A and A 2 and ta 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 ta. That's the rhythm. I'll add the bass note in. Of course, while you're learning to play these songs, don't be afraid just to miss the bass notes out to start with, so you can actually hear the melody of the song. I'll add the bass note in, and we'll play the couple of bars afterwards. So now, if you needed to rest your fingers on string 1, you could do that, because the string that's ringing is string 2, so if you need a little bit of support from your fingers, do so. Otherwise, just hold your hand really steady. So I've used finger 3, you could use finger 4 for the D, but finger 2 is best for the C sharp. We've got a repeat of that bar. Now we're starting on the C sharp, G sharp. Okay, so let's look at it's bar 6. We've got 3 C sharps, open B, G sharp, A. Okay, so that's how I'm playing that. I put some fingerings in to help us, IMIs or MIMs. As I'm reading, I tend to just use whatever walking fingers I can. If I'm performance playing it, I'll try and stick more to my fingerings that I've written because I'm not having to talk, so I can focus a little bit more on those. But try and use those fingerings that I put in. The reason is simple, is that it will help you when you go across the strings. So you keep the I and the M's in a nice pattern across the string, so they're not crossing over all the time. It will happen in this song, but we just have to accept that. I'll play the C sharps again. Next line is. Now we've got to change that, so we're back to high E's. Finger 3 on fret 2 for the F sharp, and we're going to do a glissando to G sharp. So I did up to G sharp, finger 1, F sharp, and then back to E's. Okay, so let's see how that sounds. Now I've got finger 2 on F sharp this time. I don't need finger 3 because I'm not going to go higher. That's to C sharp. Okay, so we're just taking the melody just those steps higher with the glissando to G sharp, F sharp, E, and then the last of the bars, F sharps. You get the idea. That will take us to bar 15, and in bar 15 we're going to be playing 2 notes together. So what I'll do, I'll split the lesson to keep the lesson length down, and we'll look at those 7 or 8 bars in that middle section before looking at the final section.